नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम् word to word Pritakttvena because of division two but yet jnanam which knowledge nana bhavan multifarious situations pritakvidan differently vetti one who knows sarveshu in all bhuteshu living entities tat jnanam that knowledge vidhi must be known rajasam in terms of passion translation that knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is knowledge in mode of passion. The concept that the material body is the living entity and that with the destruction of the body, the consciousness is also destroyed is called knowledge in the mode of passion. Hmm. According to that knowledge, bodies differ from one another because of the development of different types of consciousness. Otherwise, there is no separate soul which manifests consciousness. The body itself, the soul, and the body is itself the soul, and there is no separate soul beyond this body. According to such knowledge, consciousness is temporary, or else there are no individual souls. But there is an all pervading soul which is full of knowledge, and this body is a manifestation of temporary ignorance. Or beyond this body, there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered products of mode of passion. Hmm. Or else there are no individual souls, but there is an all pervading soul which is full of knowledge, and this body is a manifestation of temporary ignorance. Or beyond this body, there is no special individual or supreme soul. All such conceptions are considered products of the mode of passion. It's number 22. Yattu Krishna vade kasmin karye saktam ahaitukam atatvartavadalpam cha tattamasam udahritam. Yat, that which tu, but Krishnatva, all in all, ekasmin, in one, karye, work, saktam, attached, ahai tukam, without cause, atatva arhat, atatva arhavat, without reality, alpam cha, and very meager, tat, that, tamasam, in mode of darkness, udahritam, is spoken. Translation. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Purport. The knowledge of the common man is always in the mode of darkness or ignorance, because every living entity in conditioned life is born into the mode of ignorance. One who does not develop knowledge through the authorities or scriptural injunctions has knowledge that is limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in terms of the direction of scripture. For him, God is money, and knowledge means the satisfaction of bodily demands. Such knowledge has no connection with the absolute truth. It is more or less like the knowledge of the ordinary animals, the knowledge of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Such knowledge is described here as the product of the mode of darkness. In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond this body is called knowledge in the mode of goodness, and knowledge producing many theories and doctrines by dint of mundane logic and mental speculation is the product of the mode of passion, and knowledge concerned with only keeping the body comfortable is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Text number 23. Niyatam sangarahitam haragadveshtah kritam afala prepsuna karma yattat satvikamuchyate. Synonyms. Niyatam, regulative. Sangarahitam, without attachment. Aragadveshata, without love or hatred. Kritam, done. Afala prepshuna, without fruitive results. Karma, acts. Yat, that which. Tat, that. Satvikam, in the mode of goodness. Uchyate, is called. Translation. As for actions, that action in accordance with duty, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive results, is called action in the mode of goodness. As for actions, that action in accordance with duty, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive results, is called action in the mode of goodness. Purport. Regulated occupational duties as prescribed in the scriptures in terms of the different orders and divisions of society performed without attachment or proprietary rights, and therefore without any love or hatred, and performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the Supreme, without self-satisfaction or self-gratification, are called actions in the mode of goodness. Text number 24. Yattukam suna Yattukamepsuna karma isahankarena va puna kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasam udahritam. Yat, that which too, but kama ipsuna, with fruitive results, karma work, sahankarena, with ego, va, or, punaha, again, kriyate, performed, bahula ayasam, with great labor, that, rajasam, in the mode of passion, udahritam, is said to be. Translation. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, and which is enacted from sense of false ego, is called action in the mode of passion. but action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and which is enacted from sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. Anubandam kshayam himsam anapekshaya cha paurusham mohadharabhyate karma yattattamasam uchyate. Anubandham, future bondage. Kshamam, distracted. Himsam, violence. Anapeksha, without consideration of consequences. Cha also. Paurusham, distressing to others. Mohad, by illusion. Arabhyate, begun. Karma, work. Yet that which tamasam in the mode of ignorance ucha they say to be translation, and that action performed in ignorance and delusion without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impractical, is said to be action in the mode of ignorance. One has to give account of one's action to the state or to the agents of the Supreme Lord called the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is distraction because it destroys the regulatory principles of scriptural injunction. It is often based on violence and is distressing to other living entities. Such irresponsible work is carried out in the light of one's personal experience. This is called illusion, and all such illusory work is a product of the mode of ignorance. मुक्तसङ्गो n'aham vadi धृत्युत्साहा समन्विता सिद्ध्य सिद्ध्योर्निर्विकारा karta satvika uchyate. Synonyms: Muktasanga, liberated from all material association. Anahamvadi, without false ego. Dhriti utsaha, with great enthusiasm. Samanvitaha, qualified in that way. Siddhi, perfection. Asiddhyo, failure. Nirvikara, without change. Karta, worker. Satvika, in the mode of goodness. Uchyate is said to be. Translation: The worker who is free from all material attachments and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, and who is indifferent to success or failure, is a worker in the mode of goodness. The worker who is free from all material attachments and false ego, who is enthusiastic and resolute, and who is indifferent to success or failure, is a worker in the mode of goodness. Purport: A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted to him, because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken, he is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal both in distress or happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness. Hmm. Ragi karma phala prepsur lubdo himsatmako suchi harsha sokanvitah karta rajasa parikirtita. Synonyms: Ragi, very much attached. Karma phala, to the fruit of the work. Prepsuhu, desiring. Lubdaha, greedy. Himsa, atmaka, and always envious. Asuchi, unclean. Harsha, shukanvita, complicated. With joy and sorrow. Karta, such a worker. Rajasa, in the mode of passion. Parikirtita is declared. Translation: But that worker who is attached to the fruit of his labor and who passionately wants to enjoy them, who is greedy, envious, and impure, and moved by happiness and distress, is worker in the mode of passion. Purport: A person is too much attached to certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or heart and home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire for higher elevation of life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy, and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean, and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is a man in the mode of passion. Hmm. अयुक्ता प्राकृतः स्तब्धा सातो नैष्कृत्कुलासः विषादी दीर्घः सूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते. Ayuktaha, without reference to the scriptural injunctions. Prakritaha, materialistic. Stabdaha, obstinate. Shataha, deceitful. Naiskritikaha, expert in insulting others. Alasaha, lazy. Vishadi, morose. Dirga, Shutri, procrastinating. Cha, also. Karta, worker. Tamasa, in the mode of ignorance, uchate, said to be translation. And that worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scriptures, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is a worker in the mode of ignorance. Purport. In the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they are always cunning and expert in insulting others. They are very lazy. Even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose. They procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance. बुद्धिर्भेदं धृतश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानम् अशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय. Synonyms: Buddha, of intelligence; Vedam, differences; Drite, of steadiness; Cha, also; Eva, certainly; Gunataha, by the modes of material nature; Trividam, three kinds of; Srunu, just here; Prachyamanam, Prachyamanam, as described by me; Aseshena, in detail; Pritaktvena, differently; Dhananjaya, O winner of wealth. Translation. Now, O winner of wealth, please listen as I tell you in detail of the three kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of nature. Purport. Now, after explaining knowledge and the object of knowledge and the knower in three different divisions according to modes of material nature, the Lord is explaining the intelligence and determination of the worker in the same way. प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्ये भय भये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वित्ति बुद्धि सा पार्थ सात्विकी. Synonyms: pravrittim, deserving; cha, also; nivrittim, not deserving; karya, work; akarye, reaction; bhaya, fearful; abhaye, fearlessness; bandham, obligation; moksham, cha, and liberation; ya, that which; viti, knows; buddhi, understanding; sa, that; partha, O son of Pritha; Satviki, in the mode of goodness. Translation: O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, that understanding is established in the mode of goodness. Purport: Action which are performed in terms of directions of the scriptures are called pravritti, or actions that deserve to be performed. And actions which are not so directed are not to be performed. One who does not know the scriptural directions becomes entangled in the actions and reactions of work. Understanding which discriminates by intelligence is situated in the mode of goodness. Text 31. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa partarajasi. Yaya, by which; dharmam, principles of religion; adharmam cha, and irreligion; karyam, work; cha, also; akaryam, what ought not to be done; eva, certainly; cha, also; ayata ayatavat, not perfectly; rajanati, knows; buddhi, intelligence; sa, that; partha, O son of Pritha; rajasi, in the mode of passion. Translation: And that understanding which cannot distinguish between the religious way of life and the irreligious way of life, irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, that the imperfect understanding, O son of Pratha, is in the mode of passion. Intelligence in the mode of passion is always working perversely. It accepts religion which are not actually religions and rejects actual religions. All views and activities are misguided. Men of passionate intelligence understand the great soul to be common man and accept the common man as a great soul. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, their intelligence is in the mode of passion. Adharmam dharmamiti ya manyate tamasavrita sarvarthan viparitamscha buddhisa partha tamasi. Synonyms: Adharmam, irreligion; Dharmam, religion; Iti, thus; Ya, which; Manyate, thinks; Tamasa, by illusion; Avrita, covered; Sarvarthan, all things; Viparitan, the wrong direction; Cha, also; Buddhi, intelligence; Cha, intelligence; Sa, that; Partha, O son of Pritha; Tamasi, the mode of ignorance. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be religion under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction of Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. Dhrityaya dharayate mana pranendriya kriya yogena vyabhicharinya ritirsa partha satviki. Dritya, determination; yaya, by which; dharayate is sustained; manaha, mind; prana, life; indriya, senses; Kriyaha activities. Yogena by yoga practice. Avyabhicharinya without any break. Triti such determination. Sadat Partha, son of Prita. Satviki in the mode of goodness. Translation. O son of Preta, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus controls the mind, life, and the acts of the senses, is in the mode of goodness. Purport. Yoga is a means to understand the Supreme Soul, one who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensual activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word avyabhicharinya is very significant, for it refers to persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness and are never deviated by any other activity. यया तु धर्मकामर्तान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृते सा पार्थराजसी. Yaya by which to but dharmakamartan for religiosity and economic development. Dritya by determination. Dharayate in such terms. Arjuna, O Arjuna. Prasangena by that. Phala akankshi, desiring fruitive result. Driti, determination. Sa, that. Partha, O son of Pritha, Rajasi, in the mode of passion. Translation. And that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive result in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna. Hmm. Any person who is always desirous of fruitive results in religious or economic activities, whose only desire is sense gratification, and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged in the mode of is in the mode of passion. Text 35. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vichadam madameva cha na vimunchanti durmeda priti sapartatamasi. Synonyms. Yaya by which swapnam dream, bhayam fearfulness, shokam lamentation, vishadam moroseness, madam illusion, eva certainly, cha also, na never, vimunchati is liberated, turmeda unintelligent, driti determination, sa that, partha o son of prita, tamasi in the mode of ignorance. Translation. And that determination which cannot go beyond the dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination is in the mode of darkness. Hmm. Purport. It should not be It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dream is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dream is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, and who always dreaming of lording it over the material world, whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to be the mode of ignorance. सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भ्रातर्ष भारतर्षभा अध्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमम् तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्. Sukham happiness, two but idanim now, trividam, three kinds, renu, hear me from me, Bharatarshaba, O best amongst the Bharatas, Abhyasad, by practice, Ramate, enjoyer, Yatra, where, Dukha, distress, Antam, and Cha also, Nigachati, gains, Yat that which, that agre in the beginning, Visham, Iva like poison, Pariname at the end, Amrita nectar, Upamam, compared to that Sukham happiness had become in the mode of goodness, Proktam is said, Atma self, Buddhi, intelligence, Prasadajam, satisfactory. Translation. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Purport. A conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again, thus he chooses the truth. But sometimes, in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with the great soul. In other words, a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification, but when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, and he is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happiness. In the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses and to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison, but if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar and he enjoys life. Text number 38. Vishayandriya samyogat yattadagre mritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukham rajasam smritam. Vishaya objects of sense, Indriya senses, Samyoga combination, yet that which agre in the beginning, Amrita upamam, just like nectar, Pariname at the end, Vishamiva ila like poison, that Sukham happiness, Rajasam in the mode of passion, Smritam is considered. Translation. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end is said to be of the nature of passion. A young man and a woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, and to have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses, but at the end or after some time, it becomes just like poison. They are separated, or there is divorce, there is lamentation, there is sorrow, etc. Such happiness is always in the mode of passion. Happiness derived from combination of the senses and the sense objects is always cause of distress and should be avoided by all means. Text number 38. Yadagre chanubande cha sukham mohanamatmana nidralasya pramadottam tattamasam udahritam. Yat, that which, agre, in the beginning, cha also, anubande, by binding, cha also, sukham, happiness, mohanam, illusion, atmanaha, of the self, nidra, sleeping, alasya, laziness, pramada, illusion, uttam, produced of that, tamasam, in the mode of ignorance, udahritam, is said to be. Translation. And that happiness which is blind to the self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion is said to be of the nature of ignorance. Purport. One who takes pleasure in laziness and in sleep is certainly in the mode of darkness, and one who has no idea how to act and how to not act is also in the mode of ignorance. For the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is illusion. There is no happiness either in the beginning or the end. For the person in the mode of passion, there might be some kind of ephemeral happiness in the beginning and at the end distress, but for the person in the mode of ignorance, there is only distress both in the beginning and the end. Hmm. Text number 40. न तद्दस्ति पृथिव्यं वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सद्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यद् एभिष्यत्रिभिर्गुणैः. Synonyms. Na, not. Tat, that. Asti, there is. Prithvivyam, within the universe. Va, or. Divi, in the higher planetary system. Deveshu, amongst the demigods. Va, or. Punaha, again. Sattvam, existence. Prakriti Jai, under the influence of material nature. Muktam, liberated, yet that ebi by this shad, so becomes tribi by three gunai, modes of material nature. Translation. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from the three modes of material nature. Oh, nice verse. Let's put this in the notes. 1840. Ribo. 1840. Oh, Hare Krishna, Pranjal Prabhu, Danda Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Purport. The Lord here summarizes the total influence of the three modes of material nature all over the universe. Text number 41. Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani svabhava prabhavair gunai. Brahmana the Brahmanas, Kshatriya the Kshatriyas, Visham the Vaishyas, Shudram the Shudras, Cha and Parantapa, O subduer of the enemies, Karmani activities, Pravibhaktani are divided, Svabhava on nature, Prabhavai born of Gunai by the modes of material nature. Translation. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distinguished by their qualities of work, O chastier of the enemy, in accordance with the modes of nature. Chamodamastapa Shaucham Kshantirajavamev cha Jnanam Vijnanamastikhyam Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. Samaha, peacefulness, Damaha, self-control, Tapaha, austerity, Saucham, purity, Kshanti, tolerance, Arjavam, honesty, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Jnanam, wisdom, Vijnanam, knowledge, Astikyam, religiousness, Brahma, of a Brahmana, Karma, duty, Svabhava, Jam, born of his own nature. Translation. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. What is this? 1841? शौर्यं तेजोधृतिर्दाक्ष्यम् युद्धे चाप्यपलायनम् दानमीश्वरभावश्च क्षत्रं कर्म स्वभावजम्. Synonym: Shauryam, heroism; Teja, power; Dhriti, determination; Dakshyam, resourcefulness; Yuddhe, in battle; Cha, and Api, also; Apalayanam, not fleeing; Danam, generosity; Ishvara, leadership; Bhava, nature; Cha, and Kshatram, kshatriya; Karma, duty; Svabhavajam, born of his own nature. Translation: Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. Oh, Rahul Prabhu, you want to read the next one? Or Pranjal Prabhu? How many there is? Oh, this is long chapter. It's like 8. Oh, there is some 80, I think. Is it 80? 78.
Thank you, Prabhu, for reading so many verses. I think it's very much a lot of information already to digest. So maybe we can read tomorrow more verses. I can try tomorrow morning, tomorrow 6:30 India time.
Yes,
I'll prepare.
I got lost.
I'll plan accordingly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Today, very few devotees also. Only Pranjal Prabhu is there. So tomorrow, let's 6.
yes, Prabhu. I forgot what the verse.
Oh,
Oh, here it was.
um,
Okay, Prabhu.
yeah.
Okay, now let's read the six Astakam prayers then.
Okay. Thank you.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादवाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम नामकारे बहुधा नित्सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह जाने नानुराग त्रिनादपि सुनिचन तरोरिपेश न अमानि न मानदेन कीर्तन्या सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्ते अहेतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करां पतिता मां विश्वमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कजासितधूलि सदसं विचिन्तया नैनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निश्चितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायतं निमीषेण चक्षुषा प्रवशायितं शून्यायतं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वपादतां पिनष्टु माम् अदृश्नान् मां महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा व विधातु लंपतो मत्प्राणनाथ तुस एव नापरः.
Ribo.
Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in Almighty Lord, I have no desire. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotion service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on and at the recitation of your holy name? O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rains, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Um,
Ribo. Shikshastakam ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Shikshas.
Bahujanma Koreyadi Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pada Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God, and that is the ultimate goal of this chanting. 10 offenses to the holy name are: first offense, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
To blaspheme the Vedic literature, literature in Persians to the Vedic version.
To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord, to consider the chanting of the Hare Krishna one of auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda, to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name, then to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments uh, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prema. Let us offer.
Let us offer humble
Vancha
obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like these are trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
Vancha kalpatarushya sindhubhya patitanam pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo
Hari Bol, Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnavanda ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol. All glories to Shila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu,
Hare
for
Krishna.
your association and reading with me.
Hare Krishna.